All right, so in addition to playing a lot of viewer-submitted deck lists card for card to start, the last deck and this deck were what I call build-around deck submissions. So someone made a donation, they gave me building requirements around which to construct something. So the build-around requirements for that last deck were Biomancer's Familiar plus Angels like we were playing. The build-around requirements for this deck that someone requested was Pteramander plus Deeproot Champion. I'm not sure how good Deeproot Champion is going to be in this format as a whole, just because the ground does get gummed up in a lot of games in this format. That being said, it could be that having a large ground blocker could be helpful to this deck, just so Deeproot Champion could gum up the ground while our Pteramanders and our Drakes and our Krasis finish things out in the air. Let's go ahead and dive into some matches and see how they feel. Yeah, they changed how subs are counted. You can share you're on a streak currently, but your icon is based on total number of times you subscribed. That's a good question. So I have Enigma Drake over Crackling Drake in this deck, because if you look at my mana base, I'm not actually playing that many red sources, because I need to give myself the ability to get green mana consistently to play Deeproot Champion as well. I'm gonna be greedy and keep this on the draw. Uh-oh. We have Ops and Lands that are all good draws next turn. Oh no! Our hand is in the cookie jar, chat. Our hand is thoroughly in the cookie jar. We did beat Mono Red with the Angels deck. Alright. Melody sounds great. Stroke sounds great. I'm not sure if this is a matchup where I want the extra Krasis or not. Reborn Hoaglandian. Thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is this a matchup where I want Deeproot Champion to gum up the ground? Or is this just going to be too expensive to get going? It could be that, like, the ground is just not a matchup I want to play, and I just want to be like a Drake's deck with Krasis in this matchup. Could see that being the case. Salty Spike, thanks for the 4th month in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, like what am I trimming instead though? And like I'm boarding in extra creatures. Maybe I just ditch the Discoveries and the Spell Pierces. All these Shocks might be bad too, just like leave the Lava Coils in. Although Shock does help me against the Explorer package as well. I'm gonna cut the Discoveries and the Spell Pierces and see how these Deeproot Champions feel. I could see it being correct to not play the Deeproot Champions in this matchup. Just like have Deeproot Champion as like an extra way to pressure like control and combo decks. Thanks, Lord Bio. We play a lot of different constructed things here. Pretty much all standard best of 3 constructed on this channel though, as far as Arena is concerned. We also play a little bit of Magic's older formats like Legacy and Modern on Magic Online. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this with a Scry. I know we just died keeping a 1-lander, but I think I'm supposed to do it again. That's not true, Swift. I have 4 copies of Hydroid Krasis as well. Sometimes the magic happens. Sometimes the magic happens. It's worth noting that hand is a great example of a hand that would be much more likely to play Magic under the new London Mulligan rule that they're going to be testing. if I would have kept that hand under the new mulligan rule, I would have gotten the opt in my opening hand and been able to play opt on 1, which would have given me an extra chance to hit that land drop that game. It would have bottomed some extra card that was more expensive. So more chances to actually play Magic. The new proposed rule that they're going to be testing is when you mulligan, you always draw 7, and then you pick your best X cards, however much you've mulliganed to. Miss Sherriman, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate the 2/3 of a year. For sending your Beza Bucks back this way again. Am I ever going to play a second land? This hand is much better than the other ones I've kept, but we might just die having never played a second land with this deck. Habahut, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Do you feel the deck shuffling in Arena is subpar? The only thing that's more obnoxious than a Shuffler Truther, in my opinion, is a Flat Earther. The Shuffler's not out to get you. Writing an accurate shuffling code is trivially easy. The Shuffler is fine. Sample bias is real. Anti-vaxxers. I forgot the command. I forgot the command for the website. I'm kind of sad now. I'm kind of sad that I don't remember the command. The Whistler, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Is it just vaccines? Oh, excellent. There we go. Looking for a land. Terry. You feel welcome here? Listen, all I'm going to say is when I tell you something harsh, I'm doing it because I think you can be better. If you stop blaming things like the Shuffler for your losses and focus on the things that you can control, you will become a better Magic player. Every time you cop out and write off a loss to variance when you could have made better decisions, you are preventing yourself from progressing as a Magic player. Magic's a game that has a lot of variance in it, but it's also a game that gives you a lot of agency to make a lot of decisions. They have a shuffling algorithm for best of one. No, they don't have a shuffling algorithm for best of one. They're testing a non-random algorithm change for unranked best of one, which they detailed what it was. It had something to do with evening out, making things uniformly distributed. No, see, so the person that decided to announce that they were leaving the channel because they're a Shuffler Truther, I banned them because I needed to save them from themselves. It was a humanitarian effort, really. I don't want them to accidentally find their way back into my channel. I needed to save them from future them. Listen, there's like infinite content on Twitch, even with regards to Magic. If you don't like content that's being made on a specific channel, you don't need to like announce your displeasure as you leave. Just change the channel. Really, it's okay. It's okay to just change the channel. Yeah, I think 21. So the one thing that people don't realize when they're counting how many lands decks like this play is that the number of cantrips that you play, cards that draw extra cards, play greatly into the number of lands that you see game to game. I mean, there's definitely variance in Magic. Listen, Marty, you know, you've been here long enough. You know insulting Chipotle on this channel only ends in one way. Why bottom the first and keep the second? Because I just wanted to dig deeper and get more instants and sorceries in my graveyard that turn. So that way, I wasn't going to be able to cast the second discovery that turn and still hold up Spell Pierce. So I wanted to do that to get more things in the bin. Light Hammer, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If you are new to this channel, one thing that this channel will do to you is we very quickly desensitize people to the idea that getting timed out in Twitch chat is some grave crime. We hand out Twitch chats like other chats hand out candy, okay? Just we're basically the Oprah of timeouts. You get a timeout, and you get a timeout. Everybody gets a timeout. I think I want a second Spell Pierce here. I think I'm keeping both of these. Mr. Tasty, thanks for the 15 months in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Timeouts offend me. All right, so let's go ahead and cast this chart, of course. Even if they find a way to deal with this Enigma Drake, we're gonna have a couple of Spell Pierces and a Pteramander left over. How does it compare to Moe's and Salsaritas? My Tex-Mex hierarchy would definitely be Chipotle, Qdoba, Salsarita, Moe's. Chipotle's definitely at the top. They're dead, right? Yep. I've never been to Freebirds. I've never been to Freebirds. It's a matchup where I want Negate and Stroke. Definitely want Niv, definitely want Krasis. Lava Coil is an easy out. I'm never sure on how many shocks I want to leave in my deck in a matchup like this. Just because shock is relevant because it finishes off a Teferi after it down ticks, but it's probably just not worth leaving in here. All the counter spells and cards that draw cards are probably better. Shock also does kill Thief of Sanity, which is a card they board in on occasion, though. The crown looks good, punch-worthy. Heavy is the head. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna see Thief. It's possible 3 dive downs is too many. I don't know, that card's pretty silly. Keeping one-landers has worked out really well for us so far in this deck, so I'm going to continue to do so. Yes! Fist pump! Better lucky than good, chat. Better lucky than good. This was a build-around. This is a build-around for Deeproot Champion. The Ban Angels deck was actually incredibly sweet. I liked what we played a lot. Alright, well now I'm gonna shock this in and cast Discovery, digging for some threats. Threats. And I'm gonna keep the Negate here and then be incredibly sad when they play Thief of Sanity next turn. Okay, that's not bad. So I get to do this. They usually don't have anything too scary on 4, so I'm just gonna go ahead and Discovery here again. Deeproot plus land. I actually keep both of these, right? Because now I can Breeding Pool and then Deeproot plus hold the Negate up next turn. And I'm actually going to go ahead and hold on to this Opt tier, because not only do I know I have a card that I want to draw on top of my deck, but the Opt while I have Deeproot in play will make it bigger. which is nice. I think if they go to kill this here, I'm just going to let it resolve. And the reason for this is my opponent's 5th turn is a Teferi turn, and I'd really like to negate a Teferi. Alright, I want them to untap and jam that. Lyra. Yikes. Is that... It's kind of unbeatable. Lyra does make it less likely that they cast Kaya's Wrath, so we got that going for us. Yep, that does not bode well for the home team. Wonder if there should probably be some Bacon Bolts and some Ral Zarek's in this deck. That's probably a mistake. Ral Zarek especially. Honestly, it might even be better than the Nip Visit I have in the sideboard. Or maybe I don't want 4 Krasis. Or 4 Krasis might be too many. Wow, none of those are the lands we wanted for Christmas. Yikes. I was hoping it had a land there so we could go floop this plus hold up dive down. I definitely don't want to cut all the Krasis. I just want to possibly cut the extra Krasis I have in the sideboard. Dive down here does mean I can potentially block this.
Let's slow this down.
Alright, well that ended up better than expected.
According to plan.
So I get to jam this. I think I shock this in even though it makes me dead to 1 Lyra attack, because I want to be able to block Lyra dive down and then negate a removal spell. I think that's pretty important to be able to do all of that. That's my way out here. So we were pretty far behind here, but then their Esper control deck did Esper control things and just died, so seems good for us. I do think I still want a couple of Rals in the 75. Just because of that plan there. I think I'm gonna go down to 3 Krasis in the 75. Seems good. Let's give this a go. Yeah, I'm gonna need to look at like the total conversion rates and stuff, but I've been pretty underwhelmed with Esper in general in this format, so the fact that it kind of fell on its face at the Mythic Championship felt reasonable. It felt like my decisions have been validated. I mean, mono 1-landers. The Sultai decks had pretty okay conversion rates. They were like right on the mark of average, which is like probably pretty good considering how much mono blue was at the tournament. They need more Krasis in their Esper deck. All right, I assume I'm gonna lose Charter Course here. They could maybe take dive down depending on what the rest of their hand looks like. Let me get in for that. I'm gonna go ahead and shock this in. Yeah, the downtime was really brutal. Without time-shifted feature matches, paper events just have a ton of downtime. I'm gonna go ahead and opt here, because if they burn a removal spell on this, then my Enigma Drake gets to live. Although it could be a moment of craving. Yeah, getting a cast down used there on my Pteramander feels real good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this Steam Vent, because ideally, am I? No, I'm gonna bottom that. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and ship this Enigma Drake in here. They think I want to get in under Absorb. Although they don't have Absorb mana up this turn. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, wait a hot half second. I'm gonna get like absorbed and feel real bad here, but I think it's right to wait. Yep. We're in a kind of medium spot since we drew our main deck Lava Coil. Definitely puts us in an awkward position in this matchup. And that's one of the reasons, one of the things Esper Control does do well is it's a deck that gains what we refer to as virtual card advantage, because like I'm down a card just because this card basically doesn't have text in this matchup game one. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and shock their dome here just till it gets my Drake to a 5/4. Pretty dead to land Kaya's Wrath. Dead to Kaya's Wrath in general, but I assume they're gonna wait and play it around Spell Pierce here. Which longer do we have on Temur tempo? Hot second still. What do we start with? Start about 140. About another hour. Main deck Negate. Yep. Alright, on to the next one. Hi, Spoonie. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good Saturday wherever you're at. So dropping in today. Cut these lava coils. Cut these shocks. That's pretty clean. It's like Lava Coil shocks, bring threats and counterspells in. Seems fine. Spoonie, be sure to take a look at the deck queue on my website and let me know if there's a deck you'd like to see a little bit sooner. Whenever you cheer 100 bits or more or donate $1 or more, you can always bump decks in the queue. I already have 2 promo rals. There was a small window where you could craft promo rals after they put them out. I don't think this is a Cindervines matchup. I don't think I really care about their enchantments. The Cindervines are there for the Nexus of Fate decks. Mostly. They have Duress in their main deck. Gross. Or in their post board. I guess that makes sense. If they have that card, they're probably bringing it in here. Definitely just like heading to the Space Jam here. Please kill my stuff. Or don't. You know, that would work too. Nothing, huh? I think I actually just do this and attack for 1 here. Just a whole lot of nothing going on. Doing this pre-combat because we might draw another draw spell. We have a main deck Negate here, or a post-board Negate. It's not main deck, this is post-board. Bottoming anything that's not a counter spell or a draw spell here, I think. So, land feels a little bit bad, but it does mean if my opponent untaps and Kaya's Wrath us, I get to untap and play Ral's Eric, which is not the worst. So again, I agree that Cindervines has a text box in this matchup, but again, be specific. Remember, sideboarding's not just about putting all the cards in your deck that are good or have a text box in the matchup. What card that's currently in my deck is that card better than? Why is that card better than that? I'm going to take a backup Ral here, just in case they kill this first one. Ral's pretty good here, so if they go like land Teferi or like land Vraska's Contempt, I want to have a backup. So smart within. No, I don't. I think all of my threats are important. I think keeping Deeproot Champion is valuable. I want Deeproot Champion is a card that demands an answer. And closes the game out faster than Cindervines does. If I don't want Deeproot Champion in this matchup, I probably don't want Deeproot Champion in general. And I'm interested in figuring out, is Deeproot Champion a card that I want to play? So I can opt into my Ral here, right?
The search for the unknown.
The search for the unknown. Couple of Rals on the board, looking real good so far this game.
We need to move quickly.
No, in general, aggro decks tend to be the better decks in Magic. Being proactive is generally ideal. Also, I don't think Esper Control is very good. And the results this weekend kind of seem to imply that that is the case. Alright, I mean, like, that's an aggressive use of Teferi, but I think I'm kind of okay with it.
Not so fast.
I'm going to lead on this because I'd rather they absorb this than absorb this. This is the better threat at this point.
Let's skip to the good.
They need a counter spell or 2 removal spells. They just have a Kaya's Wrath here to kill my Enigma Drake as well. They left me the dive down. Interesting. So do they have removal plus counter here? They had like discard removal plus counter. Okay, well, with that draw especially, I think we're actually in an okay spot here. No, I think their absorb was fine there. I think they just want to counter whatever threat I'm putting into play, and they can't know that I have a second one. I've hit the Douglas Adams anniversary, 2 Mo's. 42 months is a long time. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Negate my negate. I think I'm okay with that. I think sans a Lyra here, we're in a very good spot. Sitting on my counter spells. You need a sword. There is a sword to go with your shield, Crimson. Go forth and protect the realm. Sorry, I missed your 12 months. Oh, right, we have a Ral coming back that I knew about. That's exciting. I almost forgot. Here's a card that you know about. I think I just sit tight on this Ral. I think I want to just hold up the negate this turn. If I draw a land next turn, I can Ral plus negate. And like the Drake's just like killing them pretty quickly here as well. Wow, do they have a counterspell as their last card? Woof. Pretty good. I assume we're tucking this in.
Right on schedule. Let's take it back.
I wish I could look at my sideboard right now.
Time to choose.
Our lack of, So, Ral can't interact with their Planeswalker, but Ral gives us more selection than their Planeswalker gives, so I think we're technically ahead at the moment, especially with the Drake in our hand. You know, that deck I really haven't played enough to have firm sideboard plans on, Bade. The idea of the Drakes in the sideboard is a card that is helpful when your opponent has a lot of removal spells, but I'm not sure if it works out well in practice or not. About a big old cup of nope. Worth noting, we were talking about Deeproot Champion versus Cindervines. Deeproot Champion looking better here because it protects our Planeswalker from their creatures. Yellow Alien Baby. Thank you for shipping your Prime again this way this month. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people on Twitch. You can ship those Bezo bucks too. Thanks for sending them back here. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with Deeproot Champion versus Cindervines. Super happy with Ral. He was a very good addition. He picked that game up and carried it on his back. What's going on, Mr. Silicon? Yeah, I do try to get a late one in every now and then. Yeah, seeing super threat to ends. Let's do it. Also, mulliganing is not a great idea against a deck full of Thought Erasures. Got my first top 8 in a modern event today. Going to Team Standard tomorrow with Death Whirler. Hey, what's going on? Wait. I appreciate the 3 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. So, Vault Bros, there's actually a Temur control deck on my website that if you haven't checked out, I'd highly recommend. Worth noting, my opponent does not currently have a black source in play, which means they cannot Kaya's Wrath me next turn, which is exciting. Play my big scary 0-4 here. They're obviously digging to try and fix their colors. How late am I planning on staying up? I am planning to be on for another, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours. Depends on how high the viewer count gets. If we hit a good viewer count like 2K plus, I'm probably gonna run a good chunk of the night. I don't really have plans tomorrow besides keep making sure the kids stay alive. I'm just looking for more cards that draw cards. Hey, who is Craft? Thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Me around. Like, definitely just smell blood in the water at this point. My opponent's like 2 lands off of Kaya's Wrath, so I just want to like ship. Have a Mortify here. Instants and sorceries. Fairly new to Twitch. How does the sub work? If I pay, is it just for you or for all channels? So, subscribing to a Twitch channel supports the person you're subscribing to directly. And then it also gives a small cut of that to Twitch. Nah, zero respect for Solar Wreckage. They shocked that in so they could cast Chemist's Insight here. I wonder... We got you, Vault Bros. So they could cast Kaya's Wrath next turn here, but I do feel like I need to hit cards that draw me cards. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this for 3 because it draws a card to replace itself. Pizza H, thank you for the tier 3 resub. I really appreciate that generosity. Just made bad decisions and bought Vanifear Pod. I can't stay away from it. Would you like to re-add Vanifear Pod to the modern queue with your tier 3 sub? Because that's definitely okay. That deck is sweet. For larger streamers like myself, Twitch takes 30% of sub money. For newer, smaller streamers, I believe they take 50%. Fantastic, Pizza. You rock. So, as we see here, we have Esper Control doing Esper Control things. And by that, I mean they did nothing and they died. How are we doing, folks? Thanks for hanging out tonight. I know everybody's been watching the Mythic Championship all week and you've had plenty of downtime, so just short ad break. These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. Back to the Magic the Gathering. How does Esper Control win? It doesn't. Well, the percentage of donations and bits are weird. So bits, when you cheer bits, the bits you cheer, the streamer gets 100% of. But that's because when you purchase bits, you're paying a premium to give Twitch their cut up front when you purchase the bits. Donations, there's a PayPal fee that comes out. As for which people, that question usually follows up with which I personally prefer. I don't care. Whichever way is easiest for you to give me money, I'm not picky. What's the #1 rule of good business? Don't complain about how people want to give you money. Sounds good, Tofu. It's like someone else the other day, like, you have a Patreon? I was like, yeah, I don't really promote it because I prefer people sub on Twitch as opposed to use my Patreon, but some people really like using Patreon. So I have a Patreon account so the people who really like it can give me money that way. Treasure chest full of pennies soon. Yeah, you can send it to my P.O. box. The London Mulligan sounds excellent. Super excited by it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and Discovery here. Probably Discovery into play Pteramander. I guess, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna keep both of these. And then I'm gonna play this. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a hit again this turn. And then next turn I can go second Deeproot. And then, like, start cheating through some spells. Alright, so I'm going to take 6 on this attack step, which is kind of scary. I think I'm going to go ahead and hold up Opt / Spell Pierce or maybe a light, Shock here if we hit one. Lego Arf, thanks for the 10 months in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Are we dead yet? We're probably getting close to dead here. Oh, this is loose. I should have done this first because if I hit a shock, I want to kill this before it makes a token. Unfortunate. Did not hit a shock. Alright, so what are we doing? Am I dead yet? So this goes here. This goes here. This goes here. I take 8 down to 1. Probably dead. What's the best deck I want to play in Standard? I really like the Temur Climb deck that I top 8'd the tournament with this past weekend. I think that deck's really, really powerful and sweet. Shivan Fire, Lava Coil sound great. Probably just want to trim some of these cards that draw cards. I guess Spell Pierce probably isn't great. I have a list for the Temur Climb deck. Yeah, you can find the Temur Climb deck and lots of other great decks on my website. I believe Temur Climb is under Blue-Green X Climb. Is Melody too slow in this matchup? It's probably too slow, right? Spell Pierce doesn't seem particularly great, though. I'm gonna bring in the Melodies on the play. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time and energy on the website. Do my best to make information accessible for folks. One of the things that I feel like a lot of people don't realize is that one of the reasons why Constructed's so popular versus Limited is that people enjoy playing high-powered games of Magic. The new Mulligan rule that they're proposing will make higher-powered games of Magic. Games of Magic where both decks get to do the thing that they're doing every game makes for more exciting, interesting games of Magic. Yeah, Mono White aggro is great. The fact that all these cards hurt me is a little bit scary here. You should probably splash a color. Splash blue cards and play Spell Pierces and Negates. Should get you some shock lands. Okay. My favorite part about the whole discussion too is like people talking about things in Modern. They're like, all the things people are worried about the new mulligan rule breaking in Modern are probably things that are obnoxious and should have been banned a long time ago in Modern. So like, don't hold Magic and Modern back as a whole just because there's things that probably shouldn't be legal. Like, it's silly in my opinion. Before the current scry rule, you just got nothing. You just like mulliganed and died. It was not a good scene. I think I'm in for both of these actually. I think the pod deck is tournament viable. Yeah, it's really sweet. The next Paper Modern tournament I end up going to, I'm probably gonna register it at. Because, well, I love decks like that. We're super dead to Collision Colossus here. What cards do I think we ban? I have no idea. Trying to predict what Wizard of the Coast intends to do with the Modern ban list is like throwing darts at a dartboard in my experience. Don't do it. You're gonna be sad. Huh, do I actually, what if I do this? Just trade all of these off? I think I want to do this. And then next turn, so I'm going to go to 4 here. And then next turn I can go tapped land, Enigma Drake opt. And then Enigma Drake can trade here. And then the turn after I can play Krasis for 2 as a 4/4. Yeah, be sure to follow me on not only Twitch, but also Twitter to get notifications that when I go live with extra streams. Usually I do one extra stream every weekend. Yeah, I'm going to keep another threat. I haven't transformed Pteramander because we haven't had good opportunities to do so. Fantastical. And then I think we hold on to this Lava Coil until they hit a Phoenix, because Phoenix is like their comeback card at this point. There's 4 things in here, so if I play this, I can floop it off. Yeah, floop you. Whoop, whoop. So, they're dead on board. Come at me, bro. You know what? I shouldn't have played Deeproot Champion here, and I should have Lava Coiled this. Oh, I guess holding Lava Coil is valuable because they play Phoenix. They're still dead. Yeah, I think the new mulligan rule does mean you should mulligan more often, which is, again, a good thing because it means that good players are going to get rewarded for making good decisions more often. You want to put more agency into the games. I double blocked here because this way if they have something like Thrash Threat, I still kill their Girl Spellbreaker. And this thing has Trample, so I want to double block so I don't take some damage. I mean, mulliganing against discard decks is still going to suck under the new rules. Like, that doesn't change. Yoink. Oh, I tapped wrong. I can't play this for lethal. That's sad. So I missed lethal. If I would have done this and Lava Coiled something, I'd have killed him this turn. It doesn't matter. The game is over, but Birds used by roommates, Twitch account, buy my card. Would that help get double credit and double bumping power? Yeah, Tofu. Every Twitch account that picks up Quip. I don't know whose Twitch account it is. That's perfectly fine. If you pick up 2 Quips using two different Twitch accounts, that is perfectly fine. Wonder if we should be running Phoenix. So the reason why my deck's not playing Crackling Drake is because we don't have enough red to double red consistently early. There's only 12 red and 12 green sources in this deck, which is why I'm playing Enigma Drake as opposed to a Crackling Drake. They are going to be testing a new mulligan rule. Yeah, the Boros Land Destruction deck just isn't particularly good anymore. Enchantments are just too vulnerable in the format. So it's not the lighting that changed that lets you see the beard more now. It's the fact that after I washed it a couple of times, it's more vivid. Because there was a lot of dye on my skin that was making it look black when it was actually purple. Purplish pink. So I actually need to get a good front lighting. If you look, this room only has just a typical overhead light, so there's a shadow over my face. I don't have a light in front of me here. Need to pick up some soft LED lighting. Kill it with fire. The volume of shock lance has definitely been hurting us in the most literal sense in these matchups. Yeah, and for people that don't remember, when they added the scry rule after mulligans, a lot of people lost their mind then too, thinking that the world was ending and like, and standard, like everything was broken. It's like, really? It's okay, calm down. Blue source, please. Blue source, please. Okay. Alright. I am currently standing. I have a desk that goes up and down, so I split my time sitting and standing usually. Imagine if we were just like 4 health higher right now. We'd be in a much better spot, right? I think I'm supposed to be a little fast and loose and go to 5 here. That's an excellent draw. Alright, I'm gonna start by checking out my options here. Really want a blue source that doesn't hurt me. So if they have a Grawl Spellbreaker, we could be in a little bit of trouble here. I guess that's not even true. If they have Grawl Spellbreaker and they attack, I just like go like block. So they don't even have great attacks here. Like they can throw away both of these creatures to get in for 1, which is not good for them. Still looking for a blue source that doesn't hurt us here. Shock. Shock is an absurd draw. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now so they don't have Collision Colossus up next turn to blow us out. I mean, like, someone's asking Deeproot Champion versus Crackling Drake. Like, this game's a great example of, like, some of the power of Deeproot Champion, right? Like, efficiency is the big draw to this card. That is mildly terrifying. I think I'm supposed to hold up Dive Down here, so that way I don't die to Collision Colossus. Sure. Attacking with all was potentially lethal. Yeah, I think you're right. There's 5 in here. So this puts them to 8. If I chart here and hit an instant or sorcery, I think I'm gonna try and be aggressive here. So there's currently 5 in there. This is 6. This would be 7. So if I attack with these, and let's say they only block these 2, they would be taking 5. Yeah, so this attack is not good yet. And I think I need to hold up Dive Down. So that way I don't die to Collision Colossus. They have double Collision Colossus for super dead. They have Collision Colossus plus a burn spell. We're dead. We just basically need them to not have 2 tricks here. I think they have 2 tricks. Oh, they punted. If they'd have put this over here, okay, yeah, so they're dead. So if they'd have put the other Colossus on this one, we'd have died. But since they did it there, we get to kill them on the max swing. Pretty big mistake. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to all of these. We'll see. I wasn't sure what viewer numbers are gonna be like tonight. I plan to do at least 4 decks. That means 2 more after this, but Esper Angels and Grixis Friends might just stay at the top of the queue for Monday. Thanks everybody for stopping in tonight, by the way. I hope you're having a good Saturday and a good weekend wherever you're at. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy standard best of 3 constructed, this is definitely the channel for you. Make sure you hang out and hit that follow button. Yeah, that seems fine. Lead on Steam Vent, since I have Hinterland Harbor to give me an untapped green source for 2. Oh, you're right. You're totally right, actually. You're totally right, Animated Mellow. Wait, is that true? Because then I would have taken... Yeah, I think you're right. No, I was dead because they would have trampled for 3 over my 3/3, and they would have trampled for 1 on their 6 over my 5/5. So no, if I would have adapted, I would have died because I was at 4. My CSI code is just for TCG singles, so Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I think any mulligan rule they're going to implement would probably be across all formats. They don't want that to be different for people. CSI is Cool Stuff Inc. They're one of my sponsors that sells Magic singles. Just mono Esper control this evening. I think we're 2-0 against it so far though, so can't really complain too much. I assume we're gonna lose Drake here. We're really good at drawing Lava Coil game 1 against Esper though, which feels bad. So when EDH had a different mulligan rule, it wasn't really an official Magic format. It was just a fan-created format. Those are great, actually. Hey, Micah Mind, hope you're having a good one. So we are soft to Kaya's Wrath at the moment, but can't beat everything all the time. Yep. I mean, I don't really mind playing against Esper Control. I don't think the archetype's particularly powerful. A lot of the time it just like fumbles around and doesn't do anything. Worth noting, they don't know about the Enigma Drake on top of my deck. They took Discovery. I think we're just gonna be in a position to die. I don't have enough pressure to kill them with just the Deeproot, so I think I just have to like concede to Kaya's Wrath here. Some Esper mid-range shells with Angels, etc. Well, there's actually 2 Esper mid-range shells on the docket for tonight. We're going to be playing an Esper Thief deck up next, and then possibly an Esper Angels deck either tonight or Monday. If they don't have Kaya's Wrath here, where did Nexus hurt you, opponent? Where did Nexus hurt you? Rap Video checking in for the 2nd month in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. What would you like to name? Like, even if they name Dive Down in my hand, like, I get to draw a card to replace it. All right, well, they named a card that wasn't in my deck, so they literally just paid 3 mana and discarded a card. What a powerful Magic the Gathering card. All right, now they're gonna Kaya's Wrath me, and I'm gonna concede, because that's how things go after we make fun of Unmortigo. Did it say what they named? Did it say what they named? The UI is bad, to be fair. Oh, look, they made my Drakes bigger. Thank you, opponent. So any instant or sorcery kills them next turn. I have Foobarred that UI too, to be fair. Although I think if you were playing it in the main deck, you'd know how it works. Maybe it's their first time casting it. Maybe this is their first match they put in their main deck. Am I about to be mortified, opponent? If we can chain a bunch of draw spells together here, we might be able to kill them. They ditched a Teferi off the top of their deck, which is a little scary. I don't know if this is lethal, but I'm going to do it anyways. They go to 1. It's unfortunate. All right, please don't Kaya's Wrath me. Please don't Kaya's Wrath me. Esper gonna Esper, chat. Esper is as Esper does. What I think is the best hero precinct shell? Probably the Bant shell, one of the Bant shells that we played, or 4-color. I have one of those. So 3 Lava Coils, 4 Shocks out. Krasis, 2 Ral, and counter spells in. It's going to be our last match with this deck before we roll on along to the next one. Pretty reasonable shell overall here, though. I was really happy with Deeproot Champion against the Gruul aggro deck. So one of the things one of the things you want to think about when you're building shells like this is like, is this just worse than Crackling Drake? And in the matchup that we played against that Gruul deck, the Deeproot Champion was genuinely better than a more expensive threat would have been there. That was main deck on Mortigo. That was game 1, main deck on Mortigo. It's a brave whole new world. Do 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 do. Sure. Sign me up. I don't know if I would ever call not having flying an advantage, but being cost efficient is definitely an advantage sometimes. Oh no, I thought we were gonna get to finish the match before we hit the audio bug. Alright, I'm gonna restart really quick. These people are great, buy their stuff. These people are also great, buy their stuff. Back to the arena. Good games, country. Good luck in the rest of your matches tonight. As a heads up, runner country, if you would have Colossused your Goblin token in the 3rd game, you would have killed me. You would have dealt exactly 4. You would have dealt 3 trampling on the left, and you would have dealt 1 trampling on the right after I adapted. Losing Disdainful Stroke here is interesting because I do get to draw 2 at the Charter Course next turn. Of course, they're going to get to untap with their next... Ooh. Ooh. Alright, well, Deeproot Champion it is. It's a good pickup. Please don't play Cry of the Canarium. Please don't cry me a river. Yeah, the tokens deck is fine. There's a ton of things that are just fine in this format. I feel like so many people are used to bad TCG formats that, like, the fact that there's, like, a dozen different decks you can play in this format and be competitive with is just so confusing to people. People are just, like, waiting for the roof to come crashing in on us and someone be like, this is the only deck you can play. There's this deck and these 2 others. Enjoy. When, like, the reality is that, like, there's, like, 20 decks probably. You could play any of them. Hey, Snack Size Biscuit. Thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Details on how to submit a deck can be found on my website here. Like, look at the Pro Tour results, the Mythic Championship, and like the conversion rates there. Like, there aren't that many. This is kind of awkward. There are so many different decks that happen there that are good. Like, all right, so I'm gonna bin Krasis, keep Steam Vents here so that way I can shock this in an opt. Yeah, why is, I feel like people, that's basically what it is, right? People are like, why isn't the format stale and awful? I don't get it. The Thief of Sanity here is actually kind of sweet for us because it means that they're less likely to play Kaya's Wrath, which is nice. Although Thief is a little scary. It is worth noting that Charter Course is a little bit awkward with Deeproot Champions when I want to draw 2. Hostage Taker. We are super dead. Got it. So this is really funny. Whenever I play against the Esper control deck, the only draws I feel remotely behind against most of the time are the ones that involve Thief of Sanity and Hostage Taker. So it's like, why aren't people just playing Esper mid-range if, like, these are the cards that kill people? Hey, Blayton, thank you very much for the very generous biddies. Hope you're having a good Saturday wherever you're at. Be sure to take a peek at the deck queue on my website if you'd like, and find a deck you'd like to bump up. I always like the people that support me to kind of dictate what we play and when we play it. We're very viewer-focused content here. Do I want some shocks? Do I want some shocks? Shock is like okay against Teferi and it's good against Thief. I just have blockers too though, and Shock doesn't kill Hostage Taker. I think Lava Coil's too narrow to board in here. I think I just hope to like stroke or dive down their Hostage Taker. Yeah, we are doing a late one tonight, Chris. I don't like to overlap like Mythic Championship style events because I like to watch them. So, wanted to get some weekend stream time in still. It's pretty reasonable. We're looking to draw like some ops and some charter courses and some discoveries to like get some velocity going, but like threaten to threat and to start holding up Disdainful Stroke is like pretty good on the play. Yeah, you can always find all the decks on the deck queue page of my website for decks that are coming up. Not only the decks that are currently listed in the stream title, but also future decks that'll be coming up. I generally just play them in order from the top down for standard. And then for Modern and Legacy, I play one deck every day during the week. One deck every day during the week. Because today I didn't start with Modern because we did a bunch of Modern yesterday. Ooh, that's exciting. I think I would rather actually play the Drake this turn. And then next turn I can play Charter Course after I attack and then hold up Disdainful Stroke for a Hostage Taker, hopefully. Sure. You got me. Oh, it says it here now. That's cute. Hey, they named Enigma Drake. That means I'm more likely to hit my 4th land next turn. Sweet. Sweet. Please take my Enigma Drake and replace it with a land. Thank you. I appreciate it. And this is why Unmoored Ego is so mediocre. It's because even when it takes a card out of your opponent's hand, it doesn't really take a card out of their hand. It replaces it with another card. And now that I hit that land there, I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with these, and then just pass holding up Disdainful Stroke so we don't get Hostage Taker this turn. Alex and Fold, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. They have a Mortify here. I'm going to be a little bit sad, I suppose. You have a Negate or an Absorb here? Sure. It is. I do miss 2 points of damage this way, but I would like to just straight up draw 2 cards potentially here. They know about this Disdainful Stroke. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this and then get aggressive next turn. And then ideally we're gonna find a counterspell with this opt. Just like we drew it up, fam. Just like we drew it up. To tempo. Do 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 do. And again, just like, focusing on like what Deeproot Champion could be otherwise, like the fact that this threat was so efficient was very valuable this game. Getting in under what they were doing is the reason why we were able to win here. They could have Wrath plus Negate here. If they have Wrath plus Negate or Wrath plus Syncopate, they do get us, but outside of that combination of cards, they're done here. Imagine if Unmoored Ego had literally been any card with a text box this game. Imagine if Unmoored Ego had just been a removal spell. 99.9 with the Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Look at that. We're climbing, chat. Up to 94%. As far as this goes, I was honestly kind of impressed with Deeproot Champion. It was really good against the Gruul aggro deck, and just the efficiency on this card felt very reasonable. Even if we can't consistently play it on 2, just being able to like play it on 3 and immediately play another spell felt good. It is a worse top deck in the late game than another Drake, obviously, because you need to have it in play to be powering it up, but the fact that it gets down early felt very reasonable. The Green Splash also enables some tools like Cindervines and Crushing Canopy and then Krasis as well to grind a little bit. Ral's a card I was super impressed with. This is a card that LSV was playing Izzet Drake Phoenix at the PT, and I think he had one main and one in the sideboard. And I think this card's very powerful. Not surprised that he ended up playing it in the main. Yeah, so like the takeaway was basically like, is this worse than just playing normal Drakes? And I was kind of impressed with this. And if you look at the results of the Drakes decks, the Pro Tour, the Drakes deck kind of got dumped on this weekend, the non-Phoenix build. So maybe Deeproot Champion is a tool that can make the non-Phoenix builds of Drakes kind of competitive because it gives you this defensive outlet for some of these matchups. All right. What are we doing next? We're doing Esper Thief. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick, and when I get back, we're gonna play some Esper Thief. BRB. What in the heck is this deck doing? Does this deck have enough pirates to play Pirate League? Probably not. How many white sources are in here? We got 12, 13. I don't think there's enough white sources to play Angel of Grace here. This is 8, 12, 14, 16 blue. That's fine. How much black? 12, 15 black. Yeah, I think we're light on enough sources to play this card. Splashing Deputy of Detention seems fine. Lyra out of the sideboard is also not irrelevant. Not playing Thought Erasure in here. Not playing Thought Erasure in here seems like a pretty big miss. That card's real busted. And Quench is kind of mediocre. Oh, there's a bunch of erasures in the board. I'm going to put Erasure in the main. Over these. Seraph. I like that idea. Seraph of the Scale sounds wonderful. Throw a Spell Pierce in the board. I think 2 Lyras in the board is just powerful enough that it's worth playing, even if it could be hard to cast sometimes. Extra Hostage Taker seems fine. No, I'm not going to cut white. I make small changes to things, but I don't cut entire colors or ideas from decks that I accept. Yeah, it's a more mid-rangey version of Pirates, basically. Nah, boarding lands is kind of loose in general. Money spent on Arena. I spend about $250 per set on Arena, so I can have a pretty much full collection. So I can do my job here. Hey, Big Mama, thanks for checking out the quip. I appreciate that. Be sure to drop me a DM and let me know what deck you'd like to bump in the queue. I'd probably play a green fetch before a blue fetch